All right, everybody. So we're just going to go ahead and get started right now. I am really excited to talk about this particular topic because it's something that I find a lot of enjoyment uh, in doing for myself, for the company, for our clients. I just find this stuff extremely fun, creative. It allows me to be a little wacky, which I think is also great for this kind of stuff. So y'all know this is the Jumpstart Marketing and Lead Generation Program, and this webinar is about the anatomy of a marketing piece and understanding the key components of every successful marketing piece. And one of the first things that I really want to emphasize to everybody is that companies, every business, no matter what business you're in, if you're a successful business, you're in the business of marketing. It does not matter if you're selling paper towels, if you're selling Play-Doh, if you're selling Mr. Potato Heads, or cars, or houses, or anything. Every business is in the business of marketing. If you look at a company like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, General Motors, these companies are spending billions of dollars to get their message out to their prospective clients, to their prospects, and to generate leads consistently. And as you are out there and doing your own campaigns, you're going to start to find and you start to meet people that are doing what you're doing and doing it successfully. They're doing it one of two ways. They're either doing their own marketing and they're getting out there and they're consistent in their marketing, or they're paying a premium to have somebody market for them to generate the leads for them and then paying the premium for the lead so that they can try and close the business. But every business is a business built around marketing. It's if it's successful. So, though the point of the Jumpstart Marketing and Lead Generation program is about you guys getting out there and being a part of a marketing campaign and seeing how we put together marketing campaigns. It's really this stuff is going to translate across anything that you do, whether it's MLM, multi-level stuff, or selling jewelry, or energy, whatever it is that you're selling. The fundamental things that we're going to go over today, and we're going to just touch on some of the important things. It will translate to every single thing that you do. Uh, so let's just go ahead and jump right on in. So the first thing that we're going to be covering is what I call the three M's of marketing. And this really is the absolute foundation. You have to start your marketing piece, your campaigns, and framing how you're going to approach your campaign by first understanding the three M's. Once you've got that down for your campaign, then you can move forward, okay? The next thing that we are going to talk about is the anatomy of a marketing piece. And we're actually going to talk about what I consider to be the key things, the 12 things that you really want to make sure that you have figured out in your campaign so that you are actually presenting your material in a way that is going to be interesting, attractive, and effective to your prospects. And then we're actually going to go through the some of the pieces that we're using in the campaign that we're doing currently, so you can see how we've implemented those elements into the pieces. Okay, and then I'm going to give you some tools and some tips about ways to make your marketing pieces really awesome and fun and spectacular. Okay, so first things first, we're going to just go through the foundations of a campaign, and this is your starting point. And like I mentioned, the starting point for any campaign is the three M's. Okay, this is the ball game here, guys. So the three M's, as you can see here, is the message, the market, and the media. All right. So first things first, the message. Okay. So the message is simply put, what is it? Who is it that you're going after? Just excuse me. That's being weird. Okay. So what is it that you're going after? Okay, what is it you're trying to say? And the way that you want to look at this is, once you know what the message is, then the rest of the piece will come together. The rest of the campaign will come together. So you want to know what your message is. Why are you reaching out to the person? And in a lot of instances, what I found with investors, real estate investors, is their message is not a message at all. It's give me your house because I want it. And that's not a good message. It doesn't really resonate with people. It doesn't entice a person to feel like they should be talking to you, right? So you have to have a reason that you're reaching out to them that is all about them. Selfish marketing gets you little to no results, okay? You want to be a giving marketer. You want to get into the mindset of the person. So understanding the message and crafting a message that is specific to your targets is important. And this is really important. And as simple as this: if you're going after a distressed homeowner, then you're going to approach them differently. Then they have different problems. The message is going to be different than if you're trying to sell that person Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is about quenching your thirst, right? But so there, the Coca-Cola's messages are all about quenching your thirst, and it's reaching different elements, different segments of the population in different ways, and they craft their messages differently. So when you're going after a homeowner, who are you going after? If you're going after your targets are probate, people whose the piece of real estate is in probate, then your message is going to be a little differently. They're having different issues, different problems than someone who is not in probate, right? Okay. So first things first, that's your message. The second thing is your market. Who is your market? Who is your target? And again, you really want to understand this, because depending on the market, you're going to approach your market. Each market is different, so you're going to approach them differently. And when you, like most real estate investors, are on a limited budget, you want to make sure that you understand the market, in this case, i.e., the neighborhood that you're going after. Now, we've covered the neighborhood that we're in. We've talked about the statistics in that neighborhood. We've even talked about why we chose the specific market that we've chosen, and and now that the message is being crafted for that specific market. So you understand how we're doing it. So understand your market. Again, if you're in an affluent area, an affluent neighborhood, then the way you approach that market is going to depend, that's going to dictate how you go about a campaign for them. If you're in a lower end community, a community that is dependent on a lot of Section 8, renters, low income people, then that's a different market, a different neighborhood, and you're going to approach them differently. And then the last thing here is the media, guys. All right, so what's the media? How, now that you know the message, now that you have the market that you're going after, how are you going to reach them? And that's all that the media part of this is about, okay? So in this case, we're dealing with direct mail and door knocking. That is our media. Our media is really, at the end of the day, direct mail, getting pieces in front of homeowners who are potential prospects for us to purchase their homes from them or do creative deal making with them, okay? So in this instance, it's our media is direct mail. Coca-Cola uses an extensive amount. They're just so easy to talk about, right? They use commercials, to really sell what they're doing. So understand your message, your market, your media. You'll be good to go. Okay. So now let's just jump right into the anatomy of a marketing piece. Okay. So we just talked about the message, the market, and the media, and we're doing direct mail. That is, hands down, one of the most effective ways to be cost effective to go after your market. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways that you can go after your market and craft your messages to go after your market within the media of direct mail. So as you can see here, we've got postcards, we've got yellow letters, we've got sales letters here, and flyers, door hangers, and lumpy mail. I love lumpy mail. I think it's a lot of fun. But I really want to focus on, in this particular thing, we're going to actually talk about one core piece of this, because if you get this piece right, the rest of the pieces actually build out from there. All right. But before we go into that, I want you to always remember a few things. And the first thing is, when marketing, always be clear, guys. Always be clear. Remember, one of the very first things I said is really understand what the message is. What are you trying to relay to the person? What are they supposed to take away from this? And then be concise. Now here's a really important point. Concision does not always mean being short, but it does mean get to the point. Don't beat around the bush. People don't have a lot of time. So you can have, and I've personally written sales letters that are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pages long, and I've seen sales letters that are 20 plus, 30 plus pages long, but it's concise. It's getting you to a point. It's leading you down a path. So be concise. And that comes from having a clarity in your message and a concision about how you go about relaying that message. And also, be captivating, guys. You really want to get in there right away and just grab the person's attention. You really want to do that because, again, everyone has so much stuff coming at them that if you spend a lot of time, if you're not concise, if you're not clear, if you don't captivate them right away, you're going to lose them, and you're going to lose them fast, and your marketing materials that you've worked hard on, that you've spent money to put in front of them, is going to be thrown into the B pile, and we all know the B pile is the trash. So be captivating. And importantly, I said this on the last webinar, but be commanding. Sometimes being polite does not exactly get you what you want. Sometimes you have to stand up and say, here is what I want you to do, and here's why I want you to do it. So that all comes with, however, being clear, being concise, being captivating, so that you can then be commanding and tell them what to do. So I said a moment ago that it's really important that at the end of the day, marketing campaigns, the way that we're going about them, build out from one particular thing, in my personal opinion. If you can nail this, you can nail every other component, all the other things we talked about, the postcards, flyers, lumpy mail, door hangers, all this stuff up here. You can nail this if you nail this one key component, guys. So this is where if you're not taking notes, this is where you're going to want to start to take some notes, okay? So the sales letter. The sales letter is, at the end of the day, the heartbeat of every marketing campaign, every direct mail marketing campaign. Because like I said in the last webinar, it's all about the multiple touch. It's all about reaching out not just once. And that is a fallacy that most people who go about marketing do. They reach out once, and within the media of direct mail, they only actually will use. You've got all these different things that you can work with. Postcards, yellow letters, flyers, door hangers, lumpy mail, on and on. You have all these things, but so many people that I talk to and meet, all they do is this. They send out a flyer, or they send out a postcard. And then they go, well, I didn't get a response. And I say, well, how many touches did you work with? How many times did you send out that postcard? And was that the only thing that you sent out? And if you did you only send out one type of postcard? So you've got to, it's all about the touch. And that's where a campaign comes in. The multiple touches is denoting the idea of a campaign, reaching out to the prospect multiple times. I firmly believe that you absolutely want to get out in front of your potential prospect at least 6 to 8 times. I really think that that's kind of the sweet spot, okay? Because people don't really recognize sometimes that you've sent them anything right away. So we're going to talk about the sales letter because at the end of the day, like I said, this is the heartbeat. And it all starts with you starting with the conversation already going on in their head. What is the problem that they are having right now? And what is the solution? And, in going after for real estate investors, it can be really rather specific. A lot of times, because here's another thing that people do, guys, a lot. When they're doing marketing, they're just kind of they're doing the shotgun effect. They're just throwing it all out there and they're just hoping that that every single person that gets it is going to be the person that wants the stuff. And what we know for a fact is that is not the case. In fact, extremely effective marketing campaigns are getting 1% response rates, guys, okay? 1% response rates are good. 2, 3%, 4%, you are a rock star at that point, okay? So you're only looking for that eeny weensy teeny minor part of the whole market to go after to respond to your particular marketing pieces. Because what you want when you get on the phone to maximize your time or get in front of a homeowner is a homeowner that is ready to act now. Somebody who's ready to make a deal, who wants to play, let's make a deal right now. So that is what your sales pieces should really be geared toward. Going after the conversation that's already in the head of the homeowner who is sitting at home right now thinking many, many things. It could be, oh my God, how am I going to pay these bills? Oh my gosh, I got this, this mortgage. It's adjustable. When I got it, it was at this low percentage, and oh my gosh, now it's skyrocketed, and my payment's gone from $1,500 a month to $2,700 a month, and I can't afford it. What am I going to do? It could also be something as simple as, you know what? I grew up in this house. My parents raised me in this house, or my grandparents lived in this house, and now they've passed on, and I don't know what to do with this house, and I don't want to pay any more taxes on this house. And what am I going to do now? I need to get rid of this house. I don't even live in the state that my parents or grandparents lived in anymore, and now they've gone on, and I'm stuck with this house. What to do next? So you want to start with the conversation that's already in their head. Another conversation that happens a lot is, geez, I just got relocated, or sequestration has really hit hard, and I can't stay here, or I'm being moved. I'm in the military and I'm being, shipped out somewhere else, and I need to get rid of this house because I'm now going to be living in Hawaii or in California or down in Texas. So what am I going to do? I have this home that I just bought a few years ago, and I need to I need to do something with it. Somebody help, but I just don't even know where to start. So you want to start with the conversation that's already going on in their head. So there's a few ways that you do this, guys, and there's some really key elements, and I really believe that if you guys can hone in on these 12 elements, you're going to be good to go. The first thing is the headline. Now, we talked about this in the last webinar. That's really important. That's the thing that grabs the attention right away. The next thing here is identify the problem, okay? It might sound mean, but it's true. Pain equals profits, okay? And since we know that the person that you're going after, that 1%, that 0.5% of the people that you're going after are just simply the people that are ready to act now, not the people that are just kicking the tires and they have no real interest in selling or have no real compelling factor that puts them in a position where they've got to make a decision about selling. Those people, they're going to suck up a lot of your time. And what we know as business owners is we do not have a lot of time. We need to maximize our time, right? So, and we talk about this in our Quick Start program, time management. But, pain equals profits. If you can just jump right into what is the problem going on right now? What is the problem, the conversation happening in their head, the thing that they are searching for a solution for right now, you're going to have a much easier time, guys, captivating them and selling them on what it is. And then once you've honed in on what the problem is, you want to agitate the problem, okay? It's not enough to just say, oh, geez, it really sucks that the bills are piling up. Yeah, okay. Nobody likes paying bills. So now, why is that even more of a problem? What does the bills piling up actually mean to the person that's getting this marketing piece? So we're actually going to talk about that. We're going to go through one of the marketing pieces, the sales letter, the heartbeat of any campaign, and then we're going to we're just going to walk through that, okay? And then you want to present your credentials, and this can happen in a lot of ways. It can just be a little bit about who you are, and why they should be talking to you. What skill sets do you bring to the table? What service do you bring to the table? What experience are you imparting to them that makes you worth their time? Okay, so present your credentials. This can also be done by having testimonials from people that you've worked with and done successful deals with. If you don't have successful deals, then yet you're just getting started, then present your credentials. And if you've taken this program and you've taken the Quick Start program and you've studied real estate and you understand creative deal making and how to do on market and off market deals, then you do have credentials, okay? You know a lot more than you think you do, and you know a heck of a lot more than 99.9% of the people out there that you're going to be reaching out to, okay? And then give the benefits. What is the benefit to them picking up the phone, going to your website, or doing whatever it is that you are asking them to do? Give them the benefit. Why are you uniquely positioned to solve their problem? And then what are they going to get out of contacting you so that their problem can be solved? But with everything, you want to inject scarcity, all right? I see this all the time, Black Friday. Marketing companies are amazing with doing this, injecting scarcity. Black Friday is all about injecting scarcity into a marketing campaign and making the person feel like, oh my gosh, if I don't do anything right now, I'm not going to get that really great deal, right? So what is Black Friday all about? The day after Thanksgiving? It's, the Best Buy or wherever it is, they make an offer. You come in, and now the thing is like, they start at 9 p.m., on Thanksgiving Day, which is insane to me. But, they're making you an offer. They're saying you come in right now and you're going to get 60% off, our products today. Insane. Get a super jumbo giant television that you probably don't even need for 70% off. But here's the thing. There's only 20 of these things, or only while supplies last. So you need to be the first person. You need to be lined up. You need to be at the front door of our brick and mortar business well before we even open it, because only the first X amount of people are going to get, this great offer that we're offering, right? So that's really what they do. And then it's always great to give a guarantee if you're in a position to do that. And guarantees can be done in many, many ways. And we're going to talk about some of those ways, but it's good to give a guarantee. And then you want to have a call to action. Here's the thing. People always want to be told what to do. Remember, I said a little bit ago, you want to be clear, you want to be concise, you want to be captivating, you want to be commanding. Your call to action is you being clear, concise, and commanding all at the same time. And that's what we talked about briefly in the last webinar is your act now, call now, take action at this very second. Do it now. Don't wait till later, because you're not going to think about it later, because 1,000 other things are going to get in the way and you're going to forget that you even got this marketing piece, right? Okay, so then the next thing that you want to do is to be able to give a warning. What would happen if they don't take action now? If they don't take advantage of your offer? If they, don't get their problem fixed, right? Okay, so what's going to happen? So you really want to be clear about that, and you want to give a warning, and then summarize everything that they need to know, everything that you covered in just a couple of sentences. And this can be very, very brief. But just make sure that if they got to the end of the thing, that they didn't forget what was at the beginning. And then always, again, you want to close with telling them to take action now. It's never about tomorrow. It's never about the future. It's always about doing something in the moment whenever possible. Okay, so let's talk about the sales letters. So below this video is actually the sales letters that we are using. Some of them for you to look at in PDF form. Now, at the end of the program, you're actually going to get this stuff in a format that you can play with, and use for yourself. But we're just going to talk about here the long form sales letter and just walk through it a little bit so that you guys can see. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it up here, and then we can just go through this. But you are going to, at the end of the program, get all of this stuff so that you can utilize these templates. So, all right. So here's what it is. You open up your mail and you get this. Now, what's the first thing that you see here? A headline, right? Can't sleep, can't sell, ready to move. I've immediately, in that headline, I've done a couple of things. I've started with the conversation in their head by getting the problem going. Here's the problem. Are you not sleeping? Are you not able to sell your home? Are you ready to move? All right, great. Then you should probably read on. And already, that's also in this headline. That's also the problem, right? So within the headline, I've also presented to them what the problem is that they're having, and what you want someone to say or go either out loud or to themselves is, yeah, I can't sleep. My goodness, I am not able to sell. I've been trying to sell this house for 6 months, for a year, and it's not moving. I wonder why. Or yes, I am ready to move, or I'm all of the above. I'm ready to move, I can't sleep, and I can't sell. What the heck can I do? All right. So, and then this is really specific. This is Prince George County homeowners. Now, we actually have the version that you guys are going to get of this is even more specific, because what we found is that when you really narrow it down, when we talked about understanding the market, when you narrow it down, people tend to respond more. So what you can actually see here is what we did is homeowners of Lanham Seabrook, Maryland, in zip code 20706. How specific is that? So this is going right to a homeowner in a specific market that we've gone after and we've done the research. And here's what we're telling them. We've identified a problem. Look, 27 homes in your area sold, were sold in the past 60 days. 9 of those homes were sold at market value. 18 homes were sold below market value. That means 66% of homes in your area sold below market value. Okay, so we did a few things there. Here's a problem. 66% of the houses in your area are selling below market value. Can you not sleep? Can you not sell? Are you ready to move, but you can't sell? Well, here's why. 66% of the houses are selling below market value. And you know what else we did there, which I think is really smart, and you guys should utilize in your own pieces, is we've also provided credentials. We're saying, look, if you live in this area, we know more about your area right now than you do. Okay, so so just by giving them these facts, we've already set ourselves up as an authority, as an expert in this, in this field, in their neighborhood. They don't know this. People don't track this stuff. And even if they do, they're not tracking it this specifically. They don't know that 9 of the homes in their area sold at market value. All right. So now we're asking them a simple question, which is leading us to agitating the problem, the conversation in their head. Because the next thing you're going to say is, oh, geez, I did not know that, but I wonder about what are those 9 homes that sold at market value was. That sounds interesting to me. What is that about? So we get right there. So conversation in your head. Do you want to know the 3 things that homes sold at market value had in common and what that means for you? Yeah, tell me. I want to know. Okay, so now we're giving them a benefit. Okay, do you want to know? We already know, so now we're going to tell you. But the only way you're going to be able to find this out is if you call us. Okay, now here in the marketing piece, what we actually did was we put call James. Now, we did that because we noticed that when you give people options, sometimes they don't know how to react. So what we were testing is, would James work? And this started in a campaign that we did in Hyattsville. Does James work? Does Everett work? Does Alma work? Does Pablo work? And that starts to get in. Does Lisa work? It starts to get into understanding your market, right? So, again, we tested different names, and I encourage you to do that because if you're in a, for instance, heavily Hispanic area, I know on one of the group calls we actually talked about this. If you're in a heavily Hispanic area, then using a name that is maybe more common amongst the market that you're dealing with, that might get people more interested in picking up the phone and calling you. It also serves the benefit of you can then split test, which we talked about in the last webinar. You can then actually split test marketing pieces by inserting different names. So this is, call James. All right, see that there? Call James. So if someone calls you up and they say, hi, I'd like to speak to James. I was calling about this piece. Then if your name is Bob or Larry or even Suzanne, if they say, can I speak to James about my house? I'm really interested in knowing, what the difference in these houses are from this marketing piece. Then you already know that marketing piece generated a lead for you. And if you never get any, say the name here is Alice. If you never get any calls about Alice, then whatever you did in that piece about Alice, you know that it wasn't getting any hits, and that maybe you need to look at redoing that piece or just stick with James if you're getting the calls. So that's what I'm talking about with split testing. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's just keep going through here. So as you can see, we've done a bunch of different pieces, but what you're going to notice is this campaign, which I actually didn't mention, we titled the Sad House campaign. All right, so actually what you can see here, if I just pull this down, is, this is the sales letter Sad House campaign. And it's a 3-page campaign, all right? All right, so, or it's not a 3-page campaign. This is a 3-page sales letter that we put together to do for direct mail. So you can see that the stats here are different, but that's because this is a different area that we were working in. So in this area, it was 91 homes, and it was 6 months instead of, I believe this one was 60 days. 44 of those homes were sold at market. So you see that we're testing out different things. This is all black and white copy here, whereas here we experimented with red and blue to attempt to capture the attention of our prospects. Okay, so I actually in here we asked a question. Let me ask you something. Do you know what the value of your home is? This is another conversation that people who are actually ready to sell, and those are your ideal clients, going after that 1% that are ready to make a move. They just need the right offer in front of them. A lot of people want to know what the value of their home is. Here's another thing that this does. A lot of people, even if they're not ready to sell now, a lot of people just want to know what the value of their home is, period. So you can use this as an enticer to, if they don't have a problem if they're maybe not interested in selling right now, you can use this as an enticer to at least get them on your list. So down the road, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, you're in their mind. And we'll talk about the longer term marketing funnels a little later, but I really want to focus on direct mail specific to campaigns in specific neighborhoods, and not go into the more, that's more of an advanced topic. So, again, be captivating, be interesting, and never be boring. That's a really big thing for me. So I ask a really simple question here. Here's what we just did here. And we did this in both. We changed it around just a little bit, but you wouldn't go to a dentist to fix a broken leg, right? You'd find a specialist to handle the problem. In this volatile market, nothing is certain except the fact that nothing is certain. All right. And yeah, it's a little goofy, but you know what? If you get somebody to laugh a little bit, they're probably going to read just a little bit further. Being serious is not always the best way to get deals done. All right. So, although that's a goofy statement, it is absolutely true. You wouldn't go to a dentist to fix your broken leg, right? You'd go to a specialist. And that's what we're trying to set up here. Again, we're building credentials, we're giving benefits, all right? And then, our government is in a state of gridlock. The fiscal cliff has thrown taxes and tax policy in this country up in the air. 2013, and we did this right when sequestration was happening. Is set to be another year of chaos. Are you aware of what's happening that will make your budget tighter and survival harder? That's enough generally to make someone want to read on. Okay. And you can see we did a version of that in this piece over here as well. All right, so let me just pull this back here. All right, so with so much confusion, what's right for your family? What are you going to do? Now you're putting it back to them. What are you going to do? You have this problem. How are you going to fix it? What is your plan of action? Because we actually have a plan of action. But before we get there, let us agitate the problem just a little bit more. Because again, pain equals profits. So, did you know property taxes for PG County residents are set to increase by as much as $3,000 this year? And this was in 2013. And this is something that a lot of property owners in PG County actually did not know about property taxes increasing. So we're already, again, credentials. We're giving them some information. We're giving them some benefits. All right. With the cost of everything skyrocketing, how can you be expected to take care of all the bills plus keep up with all the repairs on your house? All right. So again, we're going right back to the conversation in their head. Bills are piling up, but the repairs on this house are also piling up. And here's the thing, and you're going to start to see this throughout the rest of the campaign. Remember I said sales letters are the heartbeat of any campaign. Everything extends and should come from that sales letter. Is your roof still leaking? Is your kitchen out of date? Did you buy that house in 1973 and nothing's happened to that kitchen since then? Are you still using the same old pink and green, Formica cabinets and the rundown microwave that barely works and the old, stove that barely gets a hot burn, so you can't really sear. If you're like me, you love to cook. You can't even really sear the stuff because the butane things don't really, give the kind of fire that you need. Is the plumbing old and rusted? Is the foundation cracked? Mold, much more. Are you having all of these problems? And if the answer is yes, then you would agree that things are really getting out of control, right? And then we ask a simple question. What are you going to do? Now, this is actually, we're not going to go too far into this, but this is actually an embedded command here, okay? What are you going to, this is conversational influence. We're influencing them to think and follow along with us so that they're saying yes along the way throughout this sales letter. They're agreeing with us. And we're not asking them, do you agree? This is a key point here. We're saying, you agree that things are really getting out of control, right? You agree that, the bills are skyrocketing. You agree that you're having all of these problems listed here, plus the government stuff is really getting at you. And that really hit hard and hit home for PG County residents. So, and then we asked them that simple question: what are you going to do? We're putting the onus right back on them. But what are you going to do? Here's what we did: call now. Call now. Call this number right now. That's what you're going to do because you already agree that things are getting out of control, right? So just call us now. That's what you're going to do. Now, I will say something about this sales letter that you'll notice we don't have here in this one, is that when we first started testing, and it's all, again, we talk about, split testing and all of that. You do want to test because not everything works in every single market exactly. You got to understand your market, and we've gone through that extensively. So I'm really not going to go into depth about that. But what we found through our testing is that when you have an extension, that people were lazy and didn't want to dial the extension. So we no longer actually use extensions in our marketing pieces. It just didn't work. You can test that and see if it works for you in your specific market. But in the markets that we've focused on, we found that using, 888-800-410-301-240-402, whatever it is, using the area code and the number by itself worked much better than trying to get someone to not only dial the number, but then turn around and dial the extension. All right, so we just personally don't do it. It might work for you. So also, again, being a little goofy, giving them something to look at, some visuals. I went with this, picture of Uncle Sam pointing at you. He's coming at you. You know why he's coming at you? Because property taxes are set to increase by as much as $3,000. And you don't have to say who this is. Everybody knows that's Uncle Sam, all right? So images can be powerful, and they can say a lot for you. And if your property taxes are set to increase, then, how is that going to affect your tax return? How is that going to affect your next year? 2014 or 2015. All right. So anyway, we've had our headline, we've identified the problem, we've agitated the problem, we've given our credentials, we've, started to let them know that there's already a benefit because we have credentials. So the tax man will be knocking at your door soon. Is this house worth all the headache? And again, I call this the Sad House campaign, and the rest of the marketing pieces are all built around this idea of the house. It's sad. It has all of these problems. It is a headache. And then on top of that, the extra $3,000 tax bill is your leaky roof with your ugly kitchen and your old plumbing and your cracked foundation that has stuff growing up into it and the mold that's growing in your basement really worth paying Uncle Sam more money? And then on top of that, an extra $3,000? I think not. So now is the time to take action and make some decisions. This is really important, guys, right? Because, what were we talking about before? About those key elements here, right? You want to identify the problem, agitate, give the credentials, and then, make an offer now and really have that call to action. Now is the time. So you need real estate professionals. Here we are, equipped to solve your real estate problems. There's no issue too big or small that we can't handle. And then we go right back to the top. Think about it. Our team of specialists can't fix a broken leg. But if your house is your headache, you're losing sleep, we're right back at the headline, and you want out, give yourself peace of mind. Pick up the phone and call us now. 888-780-8865. Okay, so again, we don't use this extension anymore, but we've gone right back to summarizing what the issue is. We've gone right back to what the problem is, and now we're telling them that there is actually a solution. Our experts have, for more than 20 years of experience, been doing this. We've been helping homeowners in every walk of life and every situation manage uncertain times. And we've created that sense of, ooh, this is uncertain. I didn't even know about that big tax bill that's going to be coming my way. And you get the benefit, give them the benefits of our years of experience in providing solution driven options and service. So that's what you're going to get. And now we're asking them a simple question: what is your need? And in this particular piece, we were doing a netcast. We were going after different types of leads for different types of clients that we were working with and different types of buyers. So are you underwater? If you're underwater, then this is your thing. And we actually played with this with different colors and different fonts and everything. But this is the one we're looking at for now. Is it time to move? Do you need to get rid of the house you're in first? If you need to move and you need to move somewhere, a lot of people can't afford to have two homes at once. They can't carry two mortgages at once. So we have some of the finest real estate professionals in the region ready to help you. Is your mortgage out of control? Did you get one of those, countrywide, adjustable, crazy, no interest, no money down mortgages? Well, that's come back to bite you in the butt, right? So that process is out of control. And if that's the case, then you need to call us. And all of that gets us to our offer here. We can buy your house cash in 7 to 30 days. But here's a sweetener, all right? So here's our sweetener. Call now and get a free 20-minute consultation. Get on the phone with us for 20 minutes and we'll talk to you about all of your problems, all of this stuff that's on your nerves, all of these problems that have you not being able to sleep and unable to sell but ready to move. Call us and we'll give you a 20-minute call for free, a free 20-minute consultation. But it's for a limited time. So as a bonus, just as an additional sweetener, we're going to give you, if you refer 2 homeowners, always ask for referral, guys. Absolutely. Even if they're not interested, ask them for the referral. And a lot of times people just don't ask, so they do not get. But so if you refer two homeowners to us who could use our services, we'll give you a free expert in-home valuation. We'll even come out to your house for sending 2 people to us. And then put a number on it. It's a total value of $399. Just call now. And the guarantee is it's no obligation. Just call now and you're going to get $399 worth of value out of us for referring to homeowners and calling us. You're going to get a free 20-minute consultation on the phone. If you call us and you refer to homeowners, maybe you say, I just wanted to know what the value of my house is. Thank you very much. But I have a cousin and I have a neighbor who could use your services because of any one of a number of these things here. We're going to give you $399 worth of value for doing that. Now, ask yourself a question. Is you're spending 20 minutes of time with them on the phone, putting together a valuation for them, going and driving to their home, sitting down, speaking with them? Is your time worth $399? If you believe it is, then the value is $399. But call now. No obligation. Inject scarcity. This offer won't last long. Now, here's the thing. Again, this is an old piece from last year, but if I were doing this piece again using this particular piece, it wouldn't just be that this offer won't last long. This offer is only good for the next 7 days. Something really specific for the next 48 hours. If you want the bonus is only good for the next X amount of time to really just inject that scarcity that we talked about. And then, take control, because that's what they're missing, because they can't sleep, they can't sell, they're ready to move, but they don't know how. They've got all these issues. Again, the leaky roof, the out-of-date kitchen, they're underwater, the mortgage is out of control, so take control, take action, call now. Here's the number. Some people don't actually like to talk on the phone. So you can also choose to have a website or an email that you send them to so that they can get some additional information that way. That is completely up to you. I have some strong opinions about that. It really depends on uh, what your goals are and your commitment level to what it is you're doing. But this is the heartbeat of, again, what we called here the Sad House campaign. Okay, so I just want to talk about just a couple more elements of this. The sales letter, again, it gives everything the person needs to know to decide if they're the right candidate for you, if they should be on the phone with you. All right. So if you get this right, you've got the rest of the campaign already figured out because everything is going to be pulled out of this 3-page sales letter. Okay. And you're going to see that in a moment. So here's the thing. People ask me often about, well, what's the difference in a long form sales letter versus a short form sales letter versus a flyer versus a yellow letter? Okay, I actually get that question a lot. And so I just want to show you guys this. Okay, so quite frankly, they're all basically the same thing. Only one's long, one's short, and one's yellow. So I hate for it to be that, you know, cut and dry, but in a lot of ways, it really is that cut and dry in a lot of ways. I do want to pull up the yellow letter here. All right, so uh, this is the yellow letter that we're using in the Jumpstart program that we're doing right now, in the campaign that we're doing. Now, if you notice, everything that we're talking about in this letter is still the same stuff in the yellow letter, is still the same stuff that we were talking about in the long form sales letter. Is your house your headache? Are you stressed? Can you not sleep? You know, it's all the same stuff. I mean, we have it right here. Sleepless nights. Do you have sleepless nights? Do you need to sell now? Are you ready to make a move? You know, we're not reinventing the wheel here. We're asking them the same questions. You know, is your house falling down? Have the taxes, are they going up? You know, are the repairs out of control? We have not changed anything really, you know, in this letter. It's the same thing. And we're telling them that we're prepared to make them an offer so that they don't continue to be stressed. Okay. And we're letting them know we buy your house, any condition, ugly homes, homes that are falling down, the whole thing. Call to action right there. You're one step away from letting the headache go. We're going to relieve your problem. Call now. Here's the offer. Receive a free neighborhood report. And even better, we offer cash and we close. Here's the enticing element: in 30 days and as fast as 48 hours, but you have to call now. Okay? So it's not a lot of difference, guys. Okay? And then let's just look at this real quick. This is the flyer. So if you got this flyer in your door or in the mail, the outside of it is, again, this is the Sad House campaign, and it's, you know, the house is literally crying. I get a kick out of this. You know, maybe some people don't, but you only need that 1%. I decided to make this a breakup letter. So the whole campaign is the house breaking up with the homeowner because the house is inadequate. The house has given the homeowner too many problems. So it simply says, it's not you, it's me. All right. I know we've had some great times together, but I'm so sad seeing how much stress I've been putting you through. My stairs creak, the roof leaks, my windows sag, and the doors drag. Maybe this year we should take a break. There are too many things I need fixed, and you don't need this burden anymore. And we actually did maybe 5 or 6 different versions of this, of what the home is actually saying in the breakup letter. And then, you know, we just, I wrote it signing sincerely a humble abode. It's kind of cute, you know, at least I think it is. Maybe you don't. And then P.S. Call Alma and Everett. They can help you. And again, you can see here we have the extension. Again, I wouldn't do an extension, and I wouldn't necessarily even give them multiple options anymore. We don't do that anymore. Be specific. Call Alma. You know, if Alma maybe as a name in the particular market that you're in isn't going to work, call Everett. Call James, call Bob, call Sue, call, Puff the Magic Dragon. I don't know what it is, but, call somebody. You want to be specific because you want to know what they're responding to when they do call. Okay, so the flyer, as you can see, I just took the first page, really, of the actual piece, and here we go. Let's see. Now that's the other piece. I mean, I literally just took the first page and used it as the as the flyer. And again, it all comes from the heartbeat of the sales letter. All right. So then postcards. So you see a lot of those yellow letter postcards, and those really worked, guys, from like 2004 to 2007, 2008. Really, that's not even true. Actually, those yellow cards, postcards were working effectively, I would say up until about a year and a half ago. But now homeowners, especially in aggressive real estate markets, like for instance the DC metro area, parts of California, these areas, Memphis, the homeowners are used to seeing this, so now it's just become noise. And it just goes right into the B pile, the trash pile. So for the postcards for this campaign, the Sad House campaign, I've literally just taken that same front here, guys, and plopped it on the front, made this a jumbo size postcard, and turned around, same headline: can't sleep, can't sell, had enough, ready to move. Here's the problem: is your house your headache? Pick up the phone, call us now. Give yourself peace of mind. And then the enticer: sell us your house now. Cash in your hands 7 to 30 days. So again, it's the same thing, guys. Again, just going back to what you see a lot of online. There's a bunch of different companies that I can talk about. I'm not going to name any specifically, but there's a lot of companies that sell you these stock letters, these stock postcards, these stock yellow letters, and that stuff isn't working anymore. People are onto it. They're bored with it. They've kind of created an immunity to it. They don't see it anymore. So you want your stuff to stand out. If you notice, this is pretty darn ugly, right? This smiley face here, it's ugly. The yellow letter here. We could have made this nicer looking. We could have used an actual handwriting font, but it was important that it look different and more unique than everything that's out there. And that's one thing that I really want you guys to take away from this. Yes, you have the elements that you want to include in your marketing pieces, but look how creative you can get with how you employ that stuff. And that's where you start to stand out amongst the crowd. Okay? So, and then the last thing here that we're going to talk about is the door hangers. So again, as you can see here, the door hanger is exactly the same thing as everything else in the Sad House campaign. If you get 6 to 8 times these kinds of things, you get the long sales letter, you don't respond. You get the short sales letter, you don't respond. You get the yellow letter. Okay, what's that? That looks kind of interesting. Then you get a postcard or a flyer, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Those fonts look familiar. Those color schemes look familiar. I've seen that house before. What is this? You're going to stop. And that's all a marketing piece is supposed to do. A lot of people will try to convince you that the marketing piece is supposed to be the be-all and end-all of everything. It's supposed to find you the prospect, get the prospect, and then close the deal for you. That's not what the marketing piece and lead generation is for. It's just simply to get someone to raise their hand and say, hey, Everett, I would like to know more. I really can't sleep. I really am unable to sell. I really do want to move. And I do have these problems that you've mentioned to me. And I now understand that you know what you're talking about, that there is some benefit to calling you. And more importantly, I can see that, with all the problems that I have, that you're giving me a solution. And that is something that is interesting to me. So being ugly oftentimes works. Just a really quick anecdote. There's this really fantastic marketer who was a mentor of mine who was actually hired by Jenny Craig to do some direct mail marketing for them. And everybody knows Jenny Craig. They hire all the celebrities who need to lose weight, and they have these really pretty, white background, commercial ads and really wonderful print advertising. And so they hired one of my mentors to do a big national direct mail campaign for them. And what he came back at them with was a direct mail campaign that was god awful ugly. I mean, dog ugly. The kind of thing that you would not want to show off to your third grade art, your art class, right? Just god awful ugly. But it made all the points. It had the headline. It identified the problem. It agitated the problem. It presented the credentials of Jenny Craig. It presented the benefits of using Jenny Craig. It injected scarcity. It made an offer. It made a guarantee. You will lose weight. It gave them a call to action. It gave them a warning. What would happen if they didn't do what you were asking them to do? And it commanded that they take action now. And the CEO gets these pieces and he goes, my God, this is fantastic. I know this would work. I know your track record of this stuff working exponentially better than everything that we're doing, but I can't get this ugly thing past my board. There is no way this would work. They wouldn't approve it. My shareholders would kick me out. I'd be out the door and out of a job if I used this. And so they stick with the pretty, the fancy, the glitzy stuff. And that does work, but ugly really does sell. It's one of the few things in direct mail where ugly sells because you're always only trying to do one thing, to get the person to do whatever you're asking them to do, to call, to get the free report, to take action now. That's all you want them to do. Call now. Take action today. That really, guys, is the anatomy of a marketing piece. Those 12 elements, building it out from a really well-crafted marketing campaign. All right. And by doing that, you're going to be able to market and canvas a neighborhood to generate the leads that you're looking for, those wholesale leads and rehab opportunities. Just remember the 3 M's. What is your message? Where is your market? And what is the media? And remember at the end of the day that at all times, to be clear, to be concise, to be captivating, and to be commanding. So I want to thank you guys for watching this webinar. I really hope that you guys start to think about, as you look at commercials, as you look at pieces that come in the mail, you're going to start to notice, wait, this doesn't have a headline. Wait, this doesn't have a call to action anymore. Wait, what's the offer here? You're going to start to see that stuff. So I recommend over the next few weeks, as you get pieces in the mail, advertisements, that you take a moment and instead of just putting it in the B pile in the trash, that you actually take a second and look at it and go, what is it? What are they doing here? What is the problem that they're presenting? What is the solution to the problem that they're giving? What are the benefits? What are the credentials? What is the testimonial? And when you start to break it apart and you start to look, as I mentioned, at those elements, when you look for these elements, you're going to see them in the successful pieces that actually grab your attention. And what I want you to start to do, this is really important for every true marketer, to start building what we call a swipe file. When you see something good and you see something that you like, keep it, put it in a file, because you might want to come back to it a month down the road, even a year down the road. Because here's the thing, they always say there's nothing new under the sun. Yeah, you might go at it a little differently, but what worked 10 years ago, it will work today. You just might have to go at it a different way. So build a swipe file. of stuff that really works, because you're going to be able to look back on that stuff and start to tweak it. I had a theater mentor of mine, a prolific guy, a Tony Award winning gentleman, Donald. And one of the things that he told me years and years and years ago was, Everett, I'm not going to get the exact quote right anymore, but the essence of it was, hacks borrow, geniuses steal. And when you think about it, it sounds crazy and asinine, but it's absolutely true. When somebody who's really smart and really savvy, a business owner, an artist, anything, when a teacher, when they see that something works, they just use it. They don't try to just pretend. They just use it. That's good. I'm going to take that and put it into my thing. All the great business people have done this in their lives. So create a swipe file. Keep that swipe file full of anything that interests you, that has those elements, and start to build your own marketing campaigns. And as part of this program, you're actually getting the first pieces of your own swipe file. All of these pieces you're getting at the end of the program, so that you can take them and employ them and implement them in a way that's going to work for you in your area. So thanks for listening to me, talk about this topic. If I don't solve this, I'll just keep talking forever. But I did want to at least give you guys some of the initial stuff. So that is it, guys. Thanks a lot, and I'll be talking to you guys on the next call. Take care. Bye.